Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Edelstein here with this week's very special last-minute edition of Rabbi Ian 3, brought to you as always by MEOR DC. And I'm outside on a beautiful spring morning, and it's fitting that I should be outside because God took us out of Egypt in the spring. And the Torah commands us to celebrate Pesach in the spring, Chodesh Aviv, even if we have to arrange the calendar to make it happen that way. And we do by adding an extra month every few years, a leap year. It's a springtime holiday. It's a beautiful holiday. It's a very busy day. You're traveling, you're buying your macaroons, your wines, getting everything ready for what I know for all of us is an extremely special time to be with family, to be with our fellow Jewish people. But just a few minutes, that's all we have together now. I have to run, you have to run, just to think about the miracle of Pesach. And I don't mean now the miracles that God displayed when he took us out of Egypt. Yes, they were miracles, and we talk about them tonight at the Seder and the Haggadah. I'm talking about just as big, if not bigger, a miracle. And that is that we are here today, the Jewish people. I'm going to have a Seder tonight, God willing, with my children and my wife, friends. I have a Seder because my parents had a Seder or took me to a Seder. And their parents had a Seder with them, and their parents with them all the way back, some roughly 120 generations back to the Exodus from Egypt 3,300 years ago. That's a miracle of dedication, a miracle of survival. Every generation from the event itself in an unbroken chain, link by link, generation by generation, telling the story on the night of the 15th of Nisan. And it wasn't just, it would be impressive enough if it were in a vacuum. But we were traveling around the world in the land of Israel, out of the land of Israel, enemies trying to destroy us, as we say in the God in every generation. They rise up to destroy us in some form or another. What a miracle that we're here tonight to celebrate Pesach, to forge the next link or to strengthen that link in the chain of generations. An incredible miracle. The survival of the Jewish people, the vibrancy of the Jewish people, our dedication to the Torah and to Passover itself. It's a chain. Links go back, 120 links back to the Exodus, but it's a chain of freedom. Of course, the freedom of the physical slavery, but it's more than that. If you pay attention in the Haggadah, you see we talk about spiritual freedom. Originally, our ancestors were idol worshippers, we read, but now the omnipresent one has brought us close to his service. Because the purpose of the physical freedom we gained at the time God took us out of Egypt was to enter into a covenant with God. I shall take you to me to be a people. We completed that at Mount Sinai. The holiday of Shavuos commemorates that. That's after Pesach. But the point is that the freedom, the physical freedom we gained enabled us to reach towards spiritual freedom. Because the covenant with God that we Jewish people have lifts up every aspect of our life to connect to the spiritual, to connect to the eternal. That's the true meaning of every mitzvah, of the 613 mitzvot in the Torah, including the matzah, to connect us, to free us from the limitations of a merely physical existence. A beautiful holiday, chain of freedom going back so far, and it's a personal experience. In every generation, the Haggadah says we should see ourselves, each one of us, as if we left Egypt. We renew that covenant, we re-inspire ourselves, we leave Egypt, all the barriers and limitations that keep us from connecting to God in a deeper way. That's the true meaning of Pesach. Have a wonderful Chag Sameach. Good Yom Tov.